What's your best not on my watch moment? I was volunteering at my cousin's middle school spelling bee when a mom walked in like she'd been hired to host the event. Hair professionally curled, Bluetooth in one ear, clipboard in hand, and 3 people trailing behind her. One with a tripod, one with a mic, and one carrying a literal fog machine. Her daughter followed wearing a glittery lab coat, heels, and a full face of makeup. Their booth was marked off with velvet ropes, and the project title read, "The Science of Being Famous" in LED letters. There was music playing from a speaker hidden under the table, and a countdown timer to her live moment. It was a school science fair, but this setup looked like a brand launch. She handed a printed itinerary to the principal and said, "We'll need quiet from 11:20 to 11:35. She's going live for her followers." The rest of the kids had foam boards and aluminum foil volcanoes. Her table had a QR code that linked to merch. I'm not even kidding. She had branded lip gloss with her face on it. Then the mom started walking up to other kids' booths, peeking at their projects and saying things like, "Oh, baking soda, that's traditional?" Or "Another solar system? How original." She stopped at my cousin Mia's table and stared at the clay planets she'd spent 3 weeks sculpting. "Sweetheart, this would have been a hit in the 90s, she said, not even pretending to whisper. Her daughter leaned in and added, "It looks like Play-Doh." Mia didn't say anything. She just kept her head down and adjusted the tiny asteroid belt she'd made with fishing wire. She's a quiet kid, but she's smart and careful. She'd handwritten her notes, labeled each planet, even added a tiny flag on Pluto that said, "Still counts." When the judging began, fog started pouring from the influencer booth. Lights hit the girl's face and she began doing a TikTok dance while reciting facts about dopamine levels and online engagement as a neurological stimulant. Her mom clapped like they were at a TED Talk. When the girl finished, she threw samples of her lip gloss into the crowd like confetti and shouted, "Follow for more science slay." One judge looked stunned. The others just applauded politely. As soon as it ended, the mom loudly asked if the surrounding kids could start packing up so they could shoot B-roll without clutter. She looked directly at Mia and said, "Especially this one. The glare off the planets is throwing off our lighting." I stood up. "Maybe you could pack it up instead." The mom turned. "I'm sorry?" I pointed at her table. "This isn't science. It's a sponsored post with glitter on top." She blinked like no one had ever told her no before. "Are you seriously heckling a child?" "Number, I'm standing up for one. Yours is playing pretend. That girl over there sculpted the actual solar system out of clay and string. She didn't need a fog machine to earn attention." A few parents nodded. One of the teachers stepped forward and said, "Let's let every student finish without distractions." Another quietly unplugged the fog machine. The mom looked furious. She grabbed her daughter and hissed, "This is why we homeschool. There's no vision in public schools." They stormed out, and for the first time all day, the room was quiet again. Later, Mia was asked to represent her project. She walked the judges through each planet, explained the asteroid belt, and smiled when one asked her why Pluto still counted. Because it never stopped being real, even when people stopped calling it a planet. On the way out, she looked up at me and asked, "Was it okay that I didn't say anything back?" I said, "You didn't have to. You just proved it."